again for another Willie's Ramblins and Pickup video. This past week I went to Chicago, Illinois. I was supposed to have an interview with Eugene Jarvis, the guy who did Robotron and stuff, at Raw Thrills. Unfortunately, the time schedules were messed up. I thought it was 1 o'clock p.m. Central Time, and the lady that booked the interview lives out in the West Coast. So they booked it for 1 o'clock Mountain Time, which would have been 3 o'clock Central Time. It's like, oh well, maybe next time I get up there I'll try to connect it up with them. But I did take some neat pictures of the waiting area there at Raw Thrills. So at least I got a little bit of something from the trip. It's unfortunate I wasn't able to interview Mr. Jarvis because I was really interested about Raw Thrills, the company. I was want to talk to him about Galaga Assault and all these other games that they've been making. But anyway, eventually I'll get up there again and go get an interview with them. Other than that, not a whole lot's going on. Figure we just get right to the pickups. I don't really have a whole lot to jabber about right now. I was at Hobby Lobby yesterday, and I saw something I hadn't seen in years. I picked up one of these balsa rubber band powered airplanes made by Gillows. This company's been around since 1926, making these little balsa rubber band powered airplanes. I loved these things when I was a kid. I used to pick them up all the time. They were like, I think back then they were like $1 or something like that. And my mom was always buying these for me. And I played for them for hours. Love these little things. So I was kind of stoked to see these again. And what's interesting is I guess they're starting to update the balsa planes to more modern stuff. Well, not more modern, but more modern kit here. This one was made by Lion Eek or something like that. But it's an actual balsa model of the Wright Flyer. Now that's cool. It's a little glider you put together out of balsa wood. And I'm living here in North Carolina, and the Wright brothers did their first flight out here and stuff like that. I thought it was kind of cool to pick up one of these just for the heck of it. They also make biplanes and triplanes, Piper Cubs, Hellcats. I can't believe the number of balsa wood airplanes that are out there now based off Gillows here, who was the first. Pretty awesome. Shows how popular these things are. They've even got an auto winder for the rubber band. That's wild. It actually counts how many times you've wrapped up the rubber band. That's wild, man. Can't just do this. We'll use the power. That's awesome. Anyway, enough of that. I won't be talking about that on the Toy Tune podcast here pretty soon. That and those little pump-up water rockets. Oh, I love those things too. But anyway, to the pickups. Let's get to the pickups. First up, for my Nintendo DS collection, I picked up Pack and Roll. Fun little Pac-Man game. Basically, you use your stylus and you flick little Pac-Man, his little face, to get him to roll around on the screen. Holy crap. That's a whole lot of flicking going on. But it's still a fun game, though. I really enjoy it. I also picked up from my Nintendo DS one of the Taito's rotary controllers. I mainly picked this up to play Arkanoid. Oh my gosh. Playing Arkanoid on the DS with their little rotary controller by Taito, it's out of this world. It's great. I wish more games on the DS took advantage of this little roller controller here. Roller controller. Thinking Colecovision. Duh. Rotary controller. It's even weighted. Listen to this. It's got a weight in there, so it's got a real nice response. This would be great if the Atari collection supported this for Tempest and stuff. This is freaking awesome. Love it. Alright. For my PSP system, I picked up Afterburner Black Falcon. I love the Afterburner series. This is really good on the PSP. Of course, I'm having troubles flying back here because I forgot to invert the flight controls. Anytime I play a flying game, I like to pull back on the joystick to climb, push forward on the joystick to dive. That's just ingrained in my head. So with it flipped, I keep going to the top of the screen when I want to go to the bottom of the screen. Oh well. Still a great game. Got it for 99 cents at my Trade-It store. They had several PSP games there for 99 cents. The rest of them I already had, so I didn't pick them up. But this one I didn't have for my collection, so I wouldn't have picked it up. But yeah, it looks like PSP games are, pretty easy to collect right now, price-wise. So if you have a PSP and you enjoy it, you may want to start checking the flea markets and thrift shops and stuff, because PSP games have been going pretty cheap lately in my area. So it's a good time to build up your collection before, it goes eventually. And then for my Colecovision, I picked up Sidetrack. Got this from Collectorvision Games. Great version of the arcade game ported to the home console. The only port of the arcade game, the home console, that I'm aware of that I could find so far. I gotta do some research on it. I like the music in this. It's basically a chiptune version of Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train. It even has Ozzy at the very beginning going, "All aboard!" It's awesome. Really great game. I'll be doing a full review of this here really soon. And then for my PlayStation, I got a lot of stuff for my PlayStation system this time around. I found one of those interactive CDs for the PlayStation. It has some demo games on there, some videos and things like that. Games such as Parappa the Rapper, NBA Shootout 98, Bloody Roar, some kind of golf game, Gex the Gecko, some other stuff. It was kind of cool. I've never seen a interactive CD for the PlayStation system before. I also picked up Disruptor. Basically, it's a Doom clone. Running around, shooting up stuff. It's okay. It's not too bad. I have to play a little bit more to give my final thoughts on it, but I like Doom type games, so this one's right up my alley. I kind of like it. Of course, I love digital pinball games, so I had to pick up True Pinball. This one features, let's see here, it's got 4 different tables on here. The table I'm playing back here is the Law and Order table, something like that. It's a little bland, not too bad. I've also got this game on my Sega Saturn too. Pretty much play exactly the same. It's not too bad. Oh, here's the tables right here. Babe Watch, Extreme Sports, Vikings, and Law and Justice. I'll be playing this a little bit more on the Pinball Electronica series I'm doing. Should be able to see that a little bit better. Picked up Tunnel B1 by Acclaim. Kind of an interesting game. You're kind of flying around these tunnels, and as you're moving around, you got these guns, you can shoot stuff, and I gotta play some more to really give an opinion on it, because I was getting a little motion sickness a little bit, just floating around and stuff. It's not too bad of a game from what I was playing. I've never heard of this game, but I'll give it a little bit more play time and see what I think about it. Oh, my favorite series on the original PlayStation, Colony Wars. Now this one's Colony Wars Vengeance. Now I've got the original Colony Wars, and I've got Colony Wars Red Sun. So I finally got to add this to my collection. I think there's like 3 of them altogether. I love the Colony Wars series on the PlayStation game console. I really wish they would make a remake this game for the PS4. I could just imagine this game on the PS4. It would be phenomenal with the updated graphics and everything. Man, I wish Psychosis, I wish he was making this for the PS4. I can't say enough about the Colony Wars series. Like I said, I love Colony Wars. It's great. I love all the explosions, and the ship's controls aren't too bad. I like all the laser effects, and great game. If you ever played the Colony Wars series, highly recommend it. Start with the very first one, the original Colony Wars, and work your way through up to Red Sun. Really great game. Also picked up Mech Warrior 2 Combat in the 31st Century. I love mech games. This one's not too bad, a little bland on the graphics, but it's the PS1, so you can't really expect a whole lot. But overall, it's still a fun game to play. If you're into the Mecha Warrior series, then this was not too bad. It was only like $2, so you can't go wrong for $2. Pretty nice game to add to the collection. I really like the game on the Xbox, Mech Assault. Ooh, I wish they would remake Mech Assault too. Love that game. Anyway, we have another Doom clone, Power Slave. This one is you're in Egypt, running around pyramids and locations in Egypt, looking up stuff and stealing things. Not too bad of a game. I've got this game also on my Sega Saturn, and it plays exactly the same. There's no really graphics are a little bit different, I think, on the Saturn. Plus, it scrolls a little bit smoother on the Saturn as well because it has that better capability of scrolling stuff. Whatever. Really fun game. Of course, if you like Doom, then you'll probably like this. Controls aren't too bad. I keep getting confused with the fire button and opening doors and stuff like that, so I kind of wander around a little bit trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. That's what happens when you play a game for the first time and make a video of it. But it's a cool game. I'm pretty impressed with it. Of course, I found yet another pinball game, Pro Pinball. This one's called The Fantastic Journey. Now, I can't believe they were released just one pinball table on a CD, but they did. I've got some other Pro Pinball CDs over there in my collection, just one table on them. And it's not too bad. It squishes the table down so it all fits on one screen. But even with that, it's still not too bad to play. It's still debatable on how I like to play my pinball games, the video pinball games. Do I want them all on one screen, or do I want the screen to scroll as I follow the ball? I kind of favor, I like to have the screen where it follows the ball, so it doesn't seem to be so compressed. Either that or have a little bit more tilt on the table to make it go back into the screen a little bit more. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Do you like your video pinball games squished to stay on one screen, or expanded to show more detail and have the ball scroll around? Not a bad pinball game, all in all. Oh, then for my PlayStation 2, I picked up, what's this one? Contra, Shattered Soldier. I love Contra. This game is awesome. I love it. I had never played this game on the PS2 until now. I'll be spending a lot of time with this game, let me tell you. I love how you can change your weapons. I like throwing the little bombs underneath people and watch them go flying. I'm shit that way. Got some really cool boss battles, some challenging boss battles. That crazy mecha spider thing at the very beginning was really kicking my rear. So I finally defeated it. What you're seeing back here in gameplay, it took me at least 10 tries to destroy that little mecha spider thing. I like video games, but Willie just can't play them very well. I'm not one of those video game aficionados. My thumbs have a mind of their own. Anyway, so that's all the pickups for this week. A lot of PlayStation stuff. I'm getting a rather big collection of PlayStation 1 games. I'm in the process of cleaning out my room. I'm selling some stuff off. Stuff I don't really mess with anymore. Just to make room for the stuff I do mess with. I went through a phase where I just kept collecting stuff. Even though I wasn't playing it, I would collect it. Then why do I collect it if I don't play it? So I'm in the process of editing my room to just keep stuff that I'm actually actively playing all the time. Next on the chopping block is my Atari 5200 system. I want to get rid of that because I'm not doing the podcast anymore. That's the only reason why I got it, was to do the 5200 Super Podcast. So I want to get rid of that. It's a 2-port model. I've got the Atari Max cartridge for it. I got the trackball, of course. One of the joysticks I have has the gold contacts inside. I modified it with that gold upgrade kit. It has the gold flex circuit. It has all the buttons with the gold backings on them and stuff to make it more reliable. One of those joysticks had that, and I have the little Master Play interface where you can plug in different controllers, like a Sega Genesis controller, stuff like that. And you have a little keypad on there you can use, and use a different controller on the Atari 5200. So yeah, I want to get rid of that. I'm open up a big hole so I can put the Arcadia 2001 in its place, because I plan on doing a podcast about it in the near future. So after I'm done with that podcast, that thing's going to go away, because I'm probably not going to play it again. I just want to get it for the podcast. But other than that, I'm rambling again. So until next time, keep on gaming and have a great time playing with all your buddies and friends online. I really like playing online games. I'm rambling again. Anyway, keep on gaming.